Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Renaissance Marie Austin, and today I am going to be making a herb salad for you. Okay, this is very nutrient rich, very potent, very satisfying, and also fun to make and really beautiful when it's all finished. How I learned about herb salads is, I guess, when I went back to school in like 2016, there was this revelation that I had about me just going to get food and eating any food. And I was driving one day and I was like really thinking about how, like, why do I still have cravings when I just ate, or when I went to go get Chinese food? And like, you get a lot of food with Chinese food, and it's like I can eat all of this, or I can go over here and get like a chicken meal, and it's like I'm eating all of this, but I still want to eat some more, and I still have cravings. And so I can't fully remember how it all came to be, but as I've said before in other videos, this is how I realized the difference between feeding our bodies and feeding our blood. So depending on your blood type, which I was able to learn what my blood type was when I had my 2 transfusions, and I understood that once I went through my index and I started going to the market and purchasing food that was good for my blood type, then I found that when I ate, I did not have cravings afterwards. I did not want to eat more. And also, I was sustained for many, many hours. So the first time I ever made this herb salad, I was like in college. I believe I was, you know what, I hadn't taken a walking class yet, but I do remember one of my friends coming up to the campus to visit me, and I had like a certain amount of space between 2 classes, and I would just go on a walk like around the campus between those classes. So that particular day, I had my herb salad, and I was pretty much like satisfied and sustained for like 5 hours. So, and even when my friend saw me eating, he was like, "Aren't you gonna be hungry?" I was like, "No." I was like, if you could even understand how the blood, if I can just maybe break it down just a little bit, we all have different blood types. We all either have deficiencies or we are fully adequate in the vitamins and minerals that we need. So while our blood cannot talk to us, our body speaks in certain ways, and those deficiencies can show up. Like, I've always had acne issues, and so I knew over time, like I learned over time actually, that I had a deficiency in vitamin A, and that like I needed more A, I needed more K, like I needed more beta carotene, like all of these different things to help balance everything that my blood needs, and also balance my hormones throughout my whole body as a whole. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you what's going in the herb salad. So I have a beautiful spread for you. I'm going to start with the sage. And then we have mint here. This is Marjoram. And Rosemary, Tarragon, Chives. Oh, there's the chives. I'm trying to move across everything. And some cilantro. I have a huge pile of parsley. We have blueberries, lentils, raspberries, and pepitas, or what we call pumpkin seeds. The lentils I just grabbed from Mother's Market. It's like a health food gluten-free, vegan, vegetarian. They do serve meat. I mean, they do sell meat and cheese and things like that, but I'm saying it's one of those kind of markets. So this was like already prepared. Otherwise, I would normally sprout my lentils and just add sprouted lentils to the salad. But since I had this already, I thought I'd just add this. And nextly, 2 cloves of garlic, a little small shallot. I have some garlic powder, and I have some onion granules powders, and then we have olive oil and sea salt. So I'm gonna basically start with the parsley because the parsley is the base of the salad. You can salad, and I have this reusable container. We're gonna bring all the parsley here. I have this reusable container that I got from like a restaurant that has a lid, and I'm just going to use that because once I put the lid on, I'm going to go ahead and pop it in the fridge, and then I'll have some salad for later. Okay, using the stems and everything, like when I cut my parsley, I'm just going for it all. There's a lot of good stuff in the stems as well. And already, like, when I start cutting, like, just the smell of each herb, it just smells really good, you guys. I'm sort of treating the parsley as like the iceberg or the romaine or the butter lettuce or the spinach, you know, in the salad, where it's the larger ratio of ingredients. And then everything else I will just chop and put into the salad according to its dominance. So over time, I've learned like which herbs are more dominant than others, and they really permeate throughout the salad. So for instance, like sage, sage can be a pretty dominant herb, and I may only use so much of that, while mint sometimes can get hidden in all of the flavors. So I'll put a lot of mint because I really, really want that mint to stand out. So nextly, I'm gonna go with the cilantro. Now I love cilantro. I'm gonna go ahead and cut up all of this. I'm gonna use the stems. Stems are just fine. Goodness, can y'all smell that? Y'all can't smell that? Man, I wish you could smell it. Oh my God, this cilantro smells so good. And it really does like make a difference as to the quality of your herbs. So with the mint, what I like to do is go through and just sort of throw the leaves in. Yeah, I don't use the stems with everything. Each herb adds its own texture, its own shape. So I really love sage, and out of the whole package, I mean, I tend to put a lot of sage, but sage is pretty dominant, and I would say like maybe, depending on the size, okay, like that should be good. Hold on. Yeah, like about that much. Look, still add more. There we go. Let me see. Get some big leaves. Okay, that's a good amount right there. So again, I'm just gonna mainly use the leafy part of the sage. Small ones. Okay, I usually kind of that's about it. This here is Marjoram, and with this, let's see, it smells so good. I say about, because these leaves are like really tiny, so like when I'm using something like this, like a Marjoram or the thyme, I tend to use a lot because, let's see, just thinking of the ratio here. Okay, this is like pretty good. Okay, that's good. Gonna slide. That's always so easy. Slide right backwards. Okay. So when it comes to the rosemary, now rosemary is pretty strong. Like, I'm not even gonna use this whole thing. I just take off a few sprigs, probably use half of it. And by the way, rosemary is my absolute like favorite herb. Like, I just love the way that it smells. Okay, so I literally only use half of this. So next we have tarragon, and I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of like knock off some of the little leaves. Okay, now I'm going to chop some chives. Nice and oniony. So with the fresh garlic, I'm only using 2 kind of medium large cloves. I'm gonna make this pretty fine. That's good enough. Now for our shallot. Ooh. Even the little shallots get my eyes to burning. So now that all of our chopping is done, we have our garlic and our shallots. I'm gonna go ahead and add some onion powder. and then a little bit of garlic powder. That's enough. So we have our Pepitas, which are a good source of protein. And then with all of our leafy herbs, this provides a nice little bite, like a nice little crunch. But once we add the olive oil, it's going to help to soften them up a little bit. These are unsalted, which is fine. I usually like salted pepitas, but I'm going to add sea salt to this anyway, so that's going to be a-okay. So next we have our lentils, and I'm just using actually a measuring scoop to kind of scoop some out. This is 1 tablespoon. 2. I think with this amount, I usually make way smaller salads than this, but 4 should be good to mix in. Let's add another one. I'm gonna throw in some raspberries. Now, once I start mixing this, the raspberries are they're gonna break up and look like little red pebbles. So you don't really need to use like a lot of raspberries, but look at how beautiful that is when you start adding in the colors. Oh my goodness. The blueberries, oh my goodness, they taste so good. I'm gonna use about half of these. Okay, so I'm adding sea salt. And I tell you guys, when I add the olive oil, you just wait and see. I have a big shocker for you. Okay, so you guys see I'm adding this olive oil. Oh my goodness. That is like really good enough right there. So what we're gonna do, I have the top here, and I'm gonna place the top on. I have a few little, scooch it over. See, I've never made one this big. I want to secure the top. We're gonna shake it up. Okay. You guys, look how beautiful that is. We shook it up and everything reversed. So then what I normally do, I actually let this sit for like 5 to 10 minutes. And when that happens, come back, raise the lid. Oh my goodness. It is like to die for. The smell just hits you in the face, and that's it. Be back in 10 minutes. And we are back. Oh my gosh. So pretty. Okay. Here's what we will do. I'll put some in a little bowl. And just so I can make this pretty for you guys, let's sprinkle a little bit more. Beautiful people. And there you have it. Oh my goodness. And it's really beautiful. It's really potent, nutrient dense, and nutrient rich. So good for the blood. Gives energy. Let's get a little taste here. My goodness. Just everything together. Like the tartness of the raspberry, the salt, the olive oil, the lentils, and just all of the different herbs shining through. The little bite of a pumpkin seed. The blueberries soften everything. You know, blueberries can be tart, but these are so sweet and they're soft. My God, today. My goodness. So before I take another bite, I have a very exciting announcement to make. I mentioned very briefly in another video that this year, for the month of January, I started a mind reset trauma healing program, which is a self-start program. And then I move into locking in a therapist for this year and a support group. Now, there's a long story behind that, but the reason why I chose to do this is because it was just like a very intentional, like, okay, I need to go into this new year and dedicate like this first month, first 21 days, first 30 days. And I just need to do something that I've never done before, that just something different to get a different result. I have been listening to affirmations all day when I go to sleep, some for sleep, meditation, doing all of my liquids in the morning, doing my stretching and my breathing. Because, you know, even with the last, like, going on 2 years, coming up on 2 years, really, I went through a lot of emotions in terms of being a 2020 graduate right into a crazy world. And like so many of us, when you have an expectation and you have all of these plans while you're in school, I know many of you can relate. And then you're like, wait a minute, but this was, I went back to school because this was the thing that was going to finally deploy me into the world, and I would have the abundance that I've worked so hard to obtain. But nonetheless, God always knows what he's doing. And I was really like towards the maybe last quarter of last year, I was really mentally and emotionally spiraling. So the beautiful thing is that over the years, I've grown in very strong awareness of my moods and like just where I am mentally. And so when I tell you, I don't know who needs to hear this. Worry does not contribute to anything. Worry clouds the mind, and you cannot think straight when you are worried and when you are frustrated and when you have negative emotions. Ever since I've been doing my affirmations all day, every day, when I'm going to sleep, I have had a peace and a calm that has allowed my mind to be clarified. And in that clarification, I have been the most productive that I've been, like, in a long time. And I would say already, like, 14 days into the year already, I got a text message. I'm not going to say what it is, what it is yet. But I got a text message. I had planted the seed. So remember, you guys, plant seeds. See, I got a sermon and I got a salad waiting for me to eat it. But you must plant your seeds. That's a whole nother video. So I'm glad I'm doing this, because then I'll take note of what I'm saying and do another whole video about that. But 14 days in, got that text message from an organization that is like the organization that I wanted to volunteer for. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I was reeling for like 2 days. Okay, now, then just like 2 days ago, a couple days ago, God made it very clear to me, and I'm excited to announce this. I am going to be going for my certificate in holistic healing, holistic medicine. They have the certificates to be a holistic practitioner, because as I evaluated my whole journey in health and just how I like to talk to people about this and that, and the more scientific I got with, the more I got into food science and like human biology and all of these things, and even going vegan and adding on my supplements like B12 and magnesium and all these other things that I'm adding on, it was very clear to me, is because I remember being like in junior high school and knowing that like I want to be a nutritionist. Like that's all I knew when I was young. I didn't know there was other things like, like a holistic approach, or I didn't know that there were variations of the healthy lifestyle and nutrition world that I could choose from, until I learned later that I really wanted to be in the holistic realm. So guys, I went to Sprouts the night that I was Googling like schools and trying to figure out like who was accredited, like the boards, whatever, trying to read blog articles. I went to a Sprouts that's not even near my house. And the lady was a holistic practitioner, and she literally gave me the school she went to, the 2 associations, the information that I needed to get started. So that is the next thing that I'm working on, something less than a year, hopefully 6, 8, 10 months, something that's accelerated. Because child, I spent 4 years in school. That's not going to happen no more. Okay. We're not going to be in school for no more than a year. You hear what I'm saying? Okay. So the thing is, this is so exciting to me, because this is another bucket list fulfillment. Um, I have notebooks and journals of dreams and visions and thoughts and ideas. And you get to the point in your life where you're like, the things that I see, are, will they actually ever come to be? So I'm gonna end on this because I don't want to be overly winded. But I'm just gonna say, like, do not lose hope in the things that you desire to do that you have not done yet. Even if you feel like, oh, I'm not in my 20s anymore, I'm not in my 30s anymore. Like, that was never an issue to me. But when I did graduate at 41, like during the whole pandemic, you have all this time to think, and you just be like, dang, like, okay, in this amount of years, I'll be 50 years old. Like, and that's real. That's real, right? I'll be 50 years old. Like I had to really like throw those thoughts out of my mind and just not think how society brainwashes us to think that like after a certain age we're just no good, no one cares. And that's really not true. There is plenty of things that people can do at any age. So I'm just gonna say that I cannot wait to have that certification in my hand, and I will be a certified holistic practitioner where I will be able to consult, and I want to be able to go and tell my story and do public speaking, because I figure, yeah, I could tell my story. It can come from someone that's uncertified. But I was like, it might as well come from someone that's certified. And then I would be able to maybe do small essays or small journals about things, just whatever. So, taking the first step, and that's it. So, guys, I am going to finish this beautiful salad. And if you make this salad, then let me know in the comment section and let me know how you liked it, because I know like super diehards, they already know about stuff like this. But I know sometimes some people are like, oh, like I've never ever had an herb salad. Like people have told me that before, and I'm like, yeah, like this is so good. Dark, leafy, green, full of amazing smells. Shallots, the garlic, pepitas, everything. It's all here. So have a good rest of your day. God bless. And I look forward to hearing from you. Okay, bye.